What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chiefs Chat. Today we're doing the divisional round prediction for the 2023 playoffs. If you guys watched last week's episode, I did the wild card round predictions and didn't go too well. Did not go too well. Things did not end up going the way that I thought they would. Didn't predict the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the Chargers. Also didn't predict the Cowboys to move on, the 49ers, or the Giants. But here they are in the divisional round. Boop. Got it all here, okay? Got it all pictured up, looking nice and pretty. Okay, these are the games this weekend. Pretty excited for all these games. They're going to be pretty good. Two of them I think are going to be better than the other two. You guys can probably see which two that I am referring to. But yeah, let's not waste time. Let's get right into this prediction. Hopefully, I go 4 for 4. I'm pretty confident on all of my predictions here. I'm feeling pretty solid about most of them. So, let's start with the first one here. Let's not waste too much time with this one. The Chiefs, I think we're going to move on, frankly. I don't think it's going to be close. If you guys want a more in-depth explanation as to why I think the Chiefs are going to absolutely dominate this game, then I recommend you watch my game preview for the Chiefs versus Jaguars game at Arrowhead Stadium. But to make a long story short, Chiefs dominant team going up against a very, very young and I would say very lucky Jaguars team. Don't mean to throw any shade towards the Jaguars, but I think they did get a little bit lucky. They had a great performance in the second half. I'm not taking anything away from the Jaguars. Played a great game in the second half, but I don't think they're ready to march into Arrowhead and take a victory in the playoffs, and I think most people would agree. Let's move on. Okay, this one is a big one. This is a big game. Obviously it means a lot for the Chiefs, considering the fact that if we face the Buffalo Bills, it will be in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very weird. It's almost going to be a battle. Who's going to show up more? Is there going to be more red or blue in the stands? That's going to be interesting. That's going to be a fun one. But this game is one that we got to talk about, before we can even think about an AFC championship. And I've gone back and forth with this one. It's just a three-headed monster in the AFC. Again, not trying to take anything away from the Jaguars. I just think, when you look at these three teams and then you look at this one, it's like, it's like they're a tier above. I'll say that. They're definitely a tier above the Jaguars. So, with that being said, I think the Chiefs are in a very fortunate position. But, they got to bet. This is a battle. This is a war. Bengals, Bills. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a great game. And hopefully they do a nice little DeMar Hamlin tribute. Because unfortunately, we had this game a few weeks ago, Monday night, and unfortunately that tragic situation did take place, and we were not able to see that game. That definitely would have, helped me in this prediction because it's going to be hard. The Bengals got off to a good start in that game, but I think the Bills. I think when you look at this team, they're more complete, they're more ready, and I think they will beat the Bengals. I think I've come to that conclusion. I think the Bills will move on against the Bengals. Bengals are a fantastic team, and ideally, what I want to happen is for the Bengals to win, because not only would that mean the game will be at Arrowhead Stadium, but that will give the Chiefs an opportunity to finally bury these rumors. Well, I guess not rumors, because the Bengals, I got to give them credit. They've backed up the talk that came to, they did it last year in the AFC Championship game. Came into Kansas City and they took us down. And they took us down 2 times in the regular season as well, once this year and once last year. So I got to give them credit. Okay, Bengals, they're a fantastic football team. And ideally what I would want is for them to win this game so that they can move on against us in Arrowhead Stadium and we can finally just crush them, bury them, put them underground, done deal. That's what I want to happen. But it's not what I think is going to happen, because I think the Bills, they're just a better team. The Bills are a Super Bowl worthy team, a team that could win it all. They are equipped to win it all. I'm not saying that the Bengals are not, because they've gotten pretty darn close. They did last season, but I think the Bills are a better team. I really do. I think the Bills are a more complete football team, better defense, better quarterback. Okay, slightly better coaching. Even though Zach Taylor, I give him a lot of credit, but I think the Bills are better. And so for that reason, I think they're going to win the game. Sometimes it's just that simple. Sometimes that's all I can really say. because this game could go either way. I would not at all be surprised if the Bengals went ahead and won this football game. So that's how I think things are going to shape up in the AFC. I think there will be a game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think that is what's going to happen in the AFC. Moving on, okay? We're starting with, the NFC game that I think will be the most difficult to predict. 49ers, Cowboys, okay? And I just think after what I did last week, it's hard for me to really say, oh, the 49ers are just this dominant team. I'm not gonna, just switch up like that. I feel like once I talk the talk, I got to back it up. I got to stick with it. Got to go Cowboys. I think the Cowboys played a great game last week. And yes, I did predict the Cowboys to lose as well. I think, when talking about the 49ers versus Cowboys, I just think, I think the Cowboys are out for revenge on this 49ers team, especially after what happened in the playoffs last season. That was just absolutely tragic what happened, 17 seconds and Dak Prescott couldn't hack the football, so I think that's going to be something that they revisit, try to do better with clock management. And I think overall, I think the Cowboys are on a roll, really. I think the Cowboys are on a nice little roll, and I just liked what I saw from them against the Tom Brady-led Buccaneers, And I think really the reason that I expected the Buccaneers to beat the Cowboys was because, Tom Brady is just that guy, and he's been that guy. So, statistically and mathematically, I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady, but unfortunately that didn't work out this time. He's 45 years old, might have played his last snap of NFL football. So, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens with Tom Brady. I'm not sure he's going to want to stop playing, but, it could have happened. That could have been it for Tom. But Dallas, okay, I just think they're good, and again, I said, I think Tom Brady was the reason that I thought the Buccaneers would win, but I think the reason that I felt like the 49ers would lose was because I just think they've got problems. I really do. I think Brock Purdy is a guy who is just being held up by this fantastic supporting cast. I mean, I think you could put anybody in his shoes and they're going to succeed. I don't mean to be a hater. I like what I'm seeing from Brock Purdy. I think he's playing good football, Obviously, he's scoring points for his offense, and that's exactly what you want to do as a quarterback. I just don't think there's anything special about him. Honestly. Am I crazy for thinking that? We got all the hype, everybody's buying the jersey and everything. I don't think he's the next Tom Brady, I just don't see that. And I think Jimmy G, as much as I give him credit, I think the reason he's a winning quarterback is because, he's in San Francisco. They've built a winning culture over there. Very strong defense, okay? And obviously they have a very good supporting cast. Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. They've got guys over there. They've got absolute guys. So, put me in at quarterback on the 49ers, and we're still putting up 35 points. So I don't know. Just not a huge fan of the 49ers. Again, I'm going to keep backing up my talk about the 49ers. I don't believe that they are a team that can win it all without a top tier level quarterback. They got close a couple of years ago against the Chiefs with a Jimmy G. So, I really do give them credit. I think they're still searching for that guy. I think it could be Trey Lance. But we'll have to see about him, injury prone, unfortunately, after what happened this season. But, Dallas. I got Dallas moving on, and I don't feel like it should surprise many people. I think this is a game that's, I think should be at least pretty 50-50, pretty close to call, because the Cowboys are on a roll. Cowboys are on a good roll. I know the 49ers are on a very good one. I think they've won, at least 10 straight or something like that. But I think the Cowboys, after what they did last week in the wild card round, I think they're just ready to go. They seem fired up. It seems like the team chemistry is off the roof. I think they're playing great football, and I think they will continue to roll here against these 49ers. I think the defense for the 49ers is declining a bit. If you ask me, I don't think they're as good as they were a couple of years ago when they made it to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And I think the offense with Brock Purdy on there, I just think at some point under pressure he's going to crumble. He's not going to be able to get the job done. I've seen it time and time again with the Chiefs. Okay, the reason the Chiefs are so successful is because Patrick Mahomes has the ability to pull out the Chiefs, in any situation. Defense not playing good, rest of the offense dropping passes. As long as we got Patrick Mahomes, we're solid. And I just don't see that for the 49ers. I don't think they have that guy. I really don't. So, sorry, but, that's how I feel. And then this one, I think, is a little bit easier to call. Okay, Giants played a good game, played a great game against the Vikings. So I really give them credit. I think they're a nice young team, and I really like what I'm seeing from Daniel Jones. You know, he put together a good season. Saquon Barkley is back and healthy, and I really like seeing him back and healthy. You know, I think he finished top 5 in rushing yards. Great stuff. Okay, but you know, Eagles, they've been dominant this season. Had a bye week. Okay, they've had a lot of time to prepare for this game. I think they're going to be ready. I think they're going to be firing on all cylinders, and I do expect them to move on. And honestly, the way things are looking up here, Eagles might be in the Super Bowl. Eagles might be in the Super Bowl. Wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. And honestly, wouldn't be surprised to see Dallas in the Super Bowl either. But, you know, I think what this boils down to is, you know, Bengals and 49ers are, I think, among the best teams down here that I do not think will move on. You know, obviously the Bengals, in my opinion, being the best out of these 4. But I think what this really boils down to is all 4 of these teams are teams that I look at, I think they could do it. I think they have what it takes to win the Super Bowl. Through and through, defense, offense, special teams, everything considered. These 4 teams right here in the conference championship that I've got, you know, predicting to move on, I just think all 4 of these teams, you know, if they're in the Super Bowl, I'm not upset, you know, because there are a couple of years, you know, sometimes it just seems like there are teams that sneak by, you know, barely really do anything, and then they just kind of end up in the Super Bowl. I think that, you know, that does happen quite a bit. But I think these 4 teams, you know, I would not be at all surprised to see, you know, these 4 teams in the Super Bowl, because I think they are championship-ready teams. So I think obviously we're looking at the Bills and the Chiefs over here as better teams than the NFC teams. I think that's just, you know, I think the AFC is better in general, but you know, this is how I think things will shake up. You know, I feel pretty good about these picks. I really do. The only thing that I kind of feel bad about, you know, I'm sorry about being a hater for the 49ers, but you know, I just think, you know, I just don't think they have what it takes. I really don't. So let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know how you think things are going to shake up, you know, in this divisional round. Okay. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week for the conference championship prediction. That'll be a fun one. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next Chiefs chat. Peace out.